Here's some fun facts out there to people who may be new to the program and new to the network. Shedeur Sanders' first collegiate quarterback coach is on the screen, and it ain't me. That's Michael Pollock, and was OC with him a couple times as well. And then even out in Colorado, you may not have been his OC, but you still had his ear because you had coached him, those first couple of years in college there. When you look at what he could be doing in the NFL, how important is it that the Browns, they've named their coach, that they get the right coach for him to really prosper and understand what they got in him?
Well, I think at the NFL level, probably as much as any level, you have got to have the right guy as the head coach that can relate to that quarterback. You know what I mean? And not only relate to him as a player, but as a person. There's a mutual respect for. I just got through watching. I'm gonna tell you what, I had not watched it before, but I watched that Dallas Cowboys special on Netflix. I'm ashamed to say but I had not had time to watch it.
Yeah.
When you're coaching football, you don't have a lot of time for Netflix videos. But anyway, one thing that struck me was the relationship Jimmy Johnson had with Troy Aikman. And I think that helped them get through those first couple seasons. It didn't quite go as well as they had hoped, and made Troy into the player he became, and made that dynasty into what it became. And but so I think that it's ultra important that I know Coach Monken. I know what he's done. He's had some success working with quarterbacks. In my opinion, he's had some success working with quarterbacks that are probably not as talented as Shedeur. If you want my honest opinion about it. Now, I mean, when he was at other places, and I'm not talking, I think that obviously Lamar Jackson's as talented as anybody, but there was, let's just face it, when he was at Georgia, man, they tried to run Stetson Bennett off every year he was there. Yeah. And to Stetson's credit, he hung in there and did a great job. But also, I think a lot of that had to do with Todd Monken, developing him, making him a better player, and helping him rise up to the level he was. So, I'm interested to see this develop. I'm interested to see how Shedeur is going to continue to climb and develop under Coach Monken. And I think it's one of those situations where it's going to be a positive for Shedeur, in my opinion, right now. Like I say, I may get into it and look and say, I was wrong. But right now, today, looking at it, I kind of like the hire. I kind of do. And especially for
Coach, I'm gonna tell you this. What I have to do is, when someone asks me anything about Shedeur and the Browns, I give my answer. I have to end it with, but we are talking about the Browns, so don't hold me to that. Because you just never know what the hell they're gonna do.
Hey, I tell you what, I heard what you said. A lot of times Cleveland has been Cleveland's biggest problem.
Yeah.
But between the number of starting quarterbacks and number of head coaches they've had through the years, just to put this in perspective, the Pittsburgh Steelers are just about. Have they hired a guy to replace Coach Tom?
Okay. Yeah, they got McCarty. Yeah,
that's the fourth guy they've hired since 1969.
Exactly.
Okay, and you look at what Pittsburgh's done since 1969 compared to what Cleveland's done, and you can see that stability, getting the right people in there, and stuff is important. And you're right, they've struggled finding the right person to give them some stability as a head coach and as a quarterback. Listen, you can't run away from the facts, and that's the facts.
Yeah. Let me hit you with some of these super chats. They say, respect to you, Coach Pollock. Good to see you. And you got, it's a different season of life, Coach P. Keep building with your wife, your daughters, and parents. Indiana it said Indiana had a grad school chapter with older they were. And Von Rambler, thank you, Unc and Chico. The Pre-A Network always gives great content, information, love, fun, loud. We're going to have fun. Totally appreciate it. We appreciate Coach B with us. He ain't going nowhere. I just want to make sure we didn't miss y'all super. Chico, on you.
No, just you kind of answered the questions and had them asked right there. But with the way that you helped develop Shedeur Sanders early on, and what you've seen from Monken and what he's going to bring into the Browns, what do you think going to be like those mesh points to what's going to be key factors to developing Shedeur Sanders moving forward?
I think like any other quarterback, you got to sit down with him and find out what he's comfortable with, find out what he likes, what he's good at, and you got to build that offense around that. I mean, he's just like any other quarterback. You can't just be so rigid in your offense that this is what we're gonna run no matter who's our quarterback. You got to be willing to massage it a little bit. And I think Coach Monken has done a good job of that. What he did at Georgia was not necessarily what he did at Baltimore. When he had, he had different personnel and different type of quarterback. And I think that with Shedeur, he just needs to sit down with him, and I'm sure he will, and just, hey, this is kind of my base. What do you now let's build off of this and find out, hey, what is this kid like? How does he see the field? What does he think? What is he really comfortable doing? Because you can call the best play in the world, and if your quarterback's not comfortable running it, you might as well trash it. I mean, that's just the bottom line. If he doesn't have confidence in it and he's not comfortable with it, man, it can look great up there on that board. But it ain't. It's how it's going to get executed. So you got to figure out what your quarterback can execute. And Shedeur's very good about communicating with you about things he likes and why he likes them. Not just, hey, I like this, coach. He actually gives you an explanation. This is why I like it. This is what the defense is doing. This is what I think we can get done with them and everything. Because, like I say, he's got a super high IQ when it comes to football, and I think that it's going to be a good thing for Coach Monken to take a young quarterback that has some playing experience already in the NFL, because now Coach Monken has some college tape and some NFL tape to look at and say, okay, this is what we need to work on. This is what this kid does really well, and we can kind of mold what we're going to do that's going to keep helping him progress.
All right, we have another piece in there, please. Yeah. Do the Bosch. Do the Bosch?
Yeah, you got to do the Bosch, Chico.
Let you do the Bosch. These guys are coming from a lower level. They haven't made plays in the SEC. What do you say about that?
Plays are plays. Plays are plays. Tyler Perry was making plays on the stage. Then he messed around and put it on. Then he messed around and put it on the screen.
There you go. I'm gone.
Plays are plays. He just got an opportunity. Right, he just got an opportunity to put it on the screen so you can see it. Is he still not the Tyler Perry that we know? Like, the plays are plays. Yeah. So these guys, LaJohntay Wester, where was he making plays at?
Yeah.
All.
What was Jimmy Horn making plays at? Where was Shedeur making plays at? What was Travis making plays at? All of us came from something lesser, something more minute. Everybody who's journeyed in and out, where did they come from?
Preach, preacher.